What's happening behind the scenes at Real Madrid is insane. The board is racing against time to lock in 3 massive signings before the Club World Cup even begins, and one of the names is someone no one expected. And to make things worse, or better depending on your perspective, according to the renowned journalist Fabrizio Romano, Real Madrid already has a new coach. And yes, he's got that Blanco DNA, but will he really arrive before the World Cup kicks off? And hold on, there's more. A surprising decision by Rodrigo in the last El Clasico is stirring up a lot of talk behind the scenes, and some people inside the club think he's already considering leaving. But before we dive into all that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, turn on notifications, and hit that like button, because here it's Real Madrid 24/7. And hey, drop a comment. Who do you want to see wearing the shirt of the greatest club in the world at the Club World Cup? Merengue family, here's the deal. According to the show El Chiringuito, Real Madrid is in a hurry, a big hurry. And if reason is clear, the FIFA Club World Cup starting in June, the club wants to bring in 3 major reinforcements, and not in a few months. They want them now. And the first name on their wish list is none other than Trent Alexander-Arnold, Liverpool's right back. Yes, Trent! The board wants to close the deal with the Englishman as soon as possible, but it's not just to say they signed him before their rivals. The idea is to have him play the Club World Cup. That's right, they want him already in the squad competing for the title of best team in the world. And it doesn't stop there. In addition to Trent, Real wants a top-level center back and a left back. Basically, a full defensive combo to lock down the backline before the World Cup. The names being tossed around behind the scenes? William Saliba and Ibrahima Konate, 2 beasts from the Premier League. But just so you know, these negotiations won't be easy. Both players are expensive and doing well at their clubs. Here's another key point. Real is scouting the market for players who are talented and won't blow up the budget. After all, it's no good spending a fortune on messing up the club's financial structure. On the left side of defense, the hot name is Alvaro Carreras from Benfica. And guess what? Even Jorel Hato from Chelsea is now on Valdebebas' radar. But both are expensive too, which could be a problem. But the key point here is the timing. The World Cup kicks off in mid-June, and most contracts in Europe expire only at the end of the month. So to register new players for the tournament, Real has to act now. Just picture a World Cup squad with Trent, Saliba, and Carreras already gelled into the team. Man, that would be totally OP. Drop a comment. Who do you think Real should sign? And will Trent really come? Tag that friend who's also freaking out about this transfer window. And now, hold on to this, because the second piece of news involves one of the most beloved names by the fans who's coming back home. It's official. According to journalist Fabrizio Romano, the most anticipated "here we go" of the year is out. Xabi Alonso is the new coach of Real Madrid. After saying goodbye to Bayer Leverkusen with a historic season, the former merengue midfielder signed a contract until 2028. And the craziest part? The plan is for him to already be in charge for the Club World Cup. Alonso shined as a coach in Germany, leading Leverkusen with offensive, modern, and super engaging football. And now he's coming back to where it all started for him as a player, and more. With the authority to reshape the entire team's playing style, the board's plan is clear. Use the World Cup as a luxury lab for Alonso to implement his ideas and test players at a high level. A kind of pre-season with a title on the line. And here comes another bombshell. Carlo Ancelotti is on his way out. The announcement should come in May, with the coach set to take over the Brazilian national team. Full respect to the mister, who made history, but now it's a new era. But listen, this new era looks very promising. Xabi is arriving with a mission to lead the squad's renewal and integrate Mbappe, Bellingham, Vinny Jr., and possibly Alexander-Arnold into a dream team. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, okay? Because Xabi's arrival might shake things up, even for one of the fans' favorites. Now comes the controversial part, because one key player simply refused to play the last El Clasico, and is sparking a lot of debate. El Clasico was breathtaking. 4-3 for Barca, including a hat trick from Mbappe that ended up being in vain. But what really stood out wasn't the result, it was Rodrigo Go's absence in the final minutes of the match. A lot of people were surprised. Why did Rodrigo stay on the bench while the young Victor Munoz was subbed in? Especially with Rodrigo apparently recovered from the fever he had the previous week. Ancelotti's official explanation was, he recovered, but he wasn't feeling well. Putting him in for 6 or 7 minutes would have just caused an injury. But nah, according to the newspaper Marca, the real story is different. Rodrigo reportedly told the staff during the week that he didn't feel mentally ready to play in El Clasico. In other words, he himself decided to sit out, and Ancelotti just respected that decision to avoid exposing the player. And now the doubts begin. Is Rodrigo really focused on the club? Or is he already thinking about next season away from the Bernabeu? Sources inside the club say he'll only stay if Xabi Alonso personally asks him to. Otherwise, Real Madrid would be open to listening to offers. And guess who's already shown interest? Yep, Manchester City. And to make things worse, the competition in the attack keeps growing. Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham, Brahim Diaz, Arda Güler. It's getting hard for everyone to get minutes. Is Rodrigo's cycle at Real over? Drop a comment. Guys, do you think he should leave? Or is there still room for him in Xabi's new project? And about Bellingham, despite the loss in El Clasico, you can't ignore what Bellingham has done this season. 23 goals, the 13 assists. The level this kid reached in his first year wearing the Real Madrid jersey is unreal. But not everyone was happy with his performance in the Clasico. The newspaper Marca was harsh, saying he lost control and couldn't dominate the midfield like expected. Diario AS was even tougher. They said Bellingham was unrecognizable and looked physically and mentally exhausted. The pressure of not winning titles might already be weighing on the English star. Even so, the fans are still backing him. After all, what he did this season was magical. But here's the question. Will Xabi Alonso be able to bring back the best version of Jude? Wrapping up this video with a lot of behind the scenes info, transfer market updates, a new coach, and a potential bombshell exit. Smash that like button if you enjoyed, share it with everyone on WhatsApp, and subscribe to the channel. Here, we live Real Madrid 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And now tell me in the comments, Trent, Saliba, or Carreras, which one do you want to see at the Club World Cup? Will Xabi Alonso be the new Zidane or the next Lopetegui? And Rodrigo, stay or go? Sources used in the video: El Chiringuito, Fabrizio, Romano, Marca, Diario, us.